Makhachev has made his voice heard. Islam said, I want to go to 170. And guys leaving divisions, I mean, right, like this is a hard and fast policy within Dana. It's not a rule. And you'll find examples and you'll find times that we got away from it. But Dana doesn't like the idea of guys leaving divisions. The thing that you must understand with Islam is for sure, not maybe, he's going to be a 170 pounder. So if you view this as a problem, it's a problem you're going to have to deal with at some point. And when Islam goes to 170, he will stay at 170. He is not going to return to 155 pounds. I mean, I'm just sharing with you, and you all can relate to this. Are you smaller now than you were 3 years ago? And it doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter if I got an 80-year-old listening to me, an 18-year-old listening to me. It doesn't make a bit of difference. Are you smaller now as a human being than you were 3 years ago? Of course not. Making 155 is a tremendous sacrifice. It's a tremendous struggle. That is where opportunity was. And more than anything, it also clung to the idea of taking over the throne for your mentor and friend, King Khabib. But it is important that you understand, Islam's not here to rock the boat. Islam's a big guy. That's a reality. And what Islam is getting asked to do is what nobody wants to do. But Islam is a competitor, and he has honor, and he lives by a code. One piece of that code to pay homage to this Nurmagomedov and to the late Nurmagomedov is that you fight who you're asked to fight. You don't say no if you're a true champion. And he won't. He won't say no when he's asked. But what he is being asked is what no fighter wants to do, which is to do the same thing twice. Fighters don't like rematches. Why would they? Why would I take that risk? Why would I go through this? It doesn't matter what the story was. It doesn't matter if you beat me up for 20 minutes and I won 5 seconds, but it was a submission and I won. Whew, sometimes you get lucky. The guy's in the rear view. And I'm sharing for you, Islam's being asked to do matches that did not have that caveat. There were not matches that were, whoo. He fought Charles for 7.5 minutes, and they fought everywhere. They fought on their feet. They fought up against the fence. They fought on the ground. They used conditioning, strength, heart, grit. Everything got tested. They used their hands. They used their feet. There was nowhere in that 7.5 minutes that Oliveira won. Like, it wasn't a matter of, well, he was touching him on his feet, but Islam got in tight, got to the body, and drug him down. If he could just keep that distance and range, hey, what's the difference? Keep him at distance and range the whole time. Islam beat him there too. Start on the mat completely dry in a submission of your choice. Refs say go. Islam will get out and beat you up. I mean, that's what it looked like. That's what the odds makers saw. Their first fight was a 3-1. It went into 3-1 on DraftKings. Right now, action on that fight is 4-1. There was nothing about it that a reasonable person could say, well, if you just gave him one more shot. Islam doesn't want to fight Charles. He's made that clear. Now, he doesn't want to fight him because it's a rematch and he would like some fresh blood. Charles does not want to fight Islam because he's a 4-1 dog and he agrees with it if he was betting. I mean, it's really relevant that you understand this. So if that fight happens, right, this entire year, some people say that Islam was the fighter of the year for 2023. People say that. He fought twice. He's owed 3 fights. He fought twice. And it was the same guy. So now as you go into 24, is he only going to get 2 fights there as well? And one of them's got to be against Charles, who doesn't want to fight him and who he doesn't want to fight, and who none of us believe, we don't know the outcome. Now, it doesn't matter what side you get on that, and I hear from many of you that I'm saying bad things about Charles. I'm not in the least. I'm telling you the story exactly the way the story happened. Exactly. But it's important that you do know that timeline, because Islam has now come out and said, I would like to fight at 170, but he went further with it. He said, I gave Volkanovski a chance, not once, but twice. I gave him a chance, twice. It was my entire 2023. All I would like is the same thing that I've already done. I would now like that done for me. I'd like to go up to 170. That's very reasonable. It's a very, very reasonable thing to do. And Islam versus Leon, I don't make believe for you that that's some kind of an incredible fight that we're all dying to see, but I will tell you as clearly as I know how to speak, you could take the greatest venue that the UFC played, Madison Square Garden, and you could put Islam in a title defense, because he will be champion, against Rakhmonov. And now all of a sudden, you do have an incredible business reason for allowing him to go up. If you're not going to give Blachal the fight, that's going to be a tough story to tell. It's going to be a very tough story. Now, in this sport, we fiercely adhere to the rules that we make up on the spot. But if we're going to take it from Blachal to give it to a guy that's ranked lower, which would be Rakhmonov, or we're going to allow a reigning champion to move up. If your number one goal is to just get the belt off the guy that has it, it would seem a very safe bet would be Islam. And I'm not predicting for you guys this is where it's going to go. I'm just trying to speak if we're being rational. Leon would like to go to 185 pounds, but he doesn't have an opponent. He's made that clear. He'll go fight Strickland. His dream fight is Adesanya. Du Plessis comes out on top. I guess we'll have that talk. That's not captivating. To watch him try to win a championship is not captivating. It has to be a specific opponent. But if he would like to go up, and he would like to be given and afforded that opportunity, he cannot say no to a guy who's trying to do the same thing. That would be impossible from a negotiating standpoint, if you're reasonable. The very thing you're asking to do, somebody else asked to do, and they allowed you. You could not reject that. And when Islam says, I did it twice. Now I would like, it's an interesting proposition. Particularly when you juxtapose that. You must understand, right? My entire thesis and premise here, I wouldn't have even opened my mouth and posted this piece had it not been the fact Islam is going to be a welterweight, for sure. So you're going to have to deal with that at some point. Do you feel it better for him to get beat? So now we got to wait 10 years. I mean, is that what you feel better? And then we slide him up and he's just one of the guys? Or do you feel it better to slide him up right now, have a champion versus champion scenario, setting up a potential match down the road with Rakhmonov? It's a very intriguing proposition. It's not if you look at the checkers play. What's next isn't that intriguing. But Islam versus Charles, look, somebody with influence and somebody with power is not letting that idea go. But that idea and the desire for Islam versus Charles is sure as hell not coming from all of you.